Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very medicinal lemsip. Other cold and flu medications are also available. Either way, welcome back to the game. And in a previous series of videos, we were building this, which is Reform Island, and we did some extreme testing, we did some escaping, which was actually easier than I thought, and the helicopters are still broken. Let me just dismiss these here, and there we go. Yes, so it's overall, I think, not terrible is the summary. It does indeed have its issues, like this dead doggo called Salsa here, half in the wall, but if we go over to reports, we can see that on the Reform tab, we have our average reoffending rate to 23%, which is a few percent better than before I spent loads of time and money on putting in this sort of a perimeter, not the perimeter wall, we had that in before as well as the cliff edges, but the sort of perimeter walkway. I think just time has just made this, go to the percentage that it is. Either way, in this episode and subsequent ones, we want to expand specifically over here into the sea. Now, we have 83 cells in total. We do have a cell block C grant, which is to raise our prisoner capacity to 100. And thinking on what this can be, well, if we go over to bureaucracy, we do have death row unlocked. I'm going to start with the execution liability because over here I want to make an island that is for death row as well as protective custody. Now, the denomination of cells, I'm not sure. Probably, maybe, sort of, perhaps, possibly. We're going to go with, say, 12 protective custody and 6 death row, which is totally overdoing it, I am well aware, but that will give us the cell block C grant and provide us enough space for things like volatile snitch, ex-law enforcement. God, they've got the full thing, haven't they? Who is this? Is that Lee? Yeah, it's Prisoner Lee. Anyway, yes, we'll see how we get on. So, a bit of trepidation on this one, because I don't actually have a great amount of planning for this. So, let's just go to sand, and I want it so that we have a way that we can get prisoners from, say, here, on a ferry and then across. So, basically, I need to build something like that, maybe bigger. And what happens now is you place it, and any second it will just turn into sand because it says construction in progress, but workers can't go over there, so it just does it automatically, and there we go. So what I'm going to do now is put in some like random sections to try and make it not a brick, because at the moment, as I said, it's just a bit... yeah, it's just a bit sort of unsightly. It's very artificial, isn't it? So I'm going to sort of try to make it a bit more organic in its look, although humans by design, I guess we have a bit of trouble with that at times, or at least some people can. Let's just go ahead and do that and that and that and put more squares in it. That's not what I was trying to do, but whatever. And then we'll just put extra sections in here, going up to the top, maybe rounding off the corners a little bit, and maybe putting in some extra bits here. That just looks like it is artificial. Anyway, like I say, I'm not entirely sure as to the overall sizing of things. We'll just have to figure that out as we go along. I'm gonna, like I say, just put in these bits here because, well, we have to do something about our time, don't we? And there we are. We'll make sure the other bits are in there. I don't want any like little bits of water in the sand areas. This can come down, and then we'll go over back to the left. And I need to make sure that wherever the ferry is, it's sort of flat. Yeah, I'll have to do maybe this, and I think that will probably suffice. Okay, over to objects, and we'll type in ferry, and we've got a ferry dock here, and it looks like it can marry up to the other side, about there-ish, so I'll place it in. Obviously, it's going to take a little while for the workers to come and do that. The question is, do I want to have an entrance here? And I think the answer is actually yes. But my question now is, how do you get rid of the... I mean, how do we get rid of this, to be fair? I can't remember a time where I've actually got rid of a cliff edge. Ah, okay. I mean, you must be able to, I say, without any degree of confidence. It's classed as walls, so it'll probably be demolish. Yes, we can demolish it. So I'm going to go demolish and demolish. and that'll obviously put a hole in the perimeter wall, similar to there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go from here, and then go all the way up, just scrolling away, and then we're going to go click, click, and that's that now removed. I'll have to have probably a door in at some point, well, definitely a door. Actually, it's going to be a fence, technically. It's going to be a staff fence, and, ooh, look at that, we're still waiting for that to be implemented, I guess because of, well, standard procedure, the helicopters. Now, I could have put the helicopters over this side, but I didn't bother because, like I say, I wanted them to land on this one here, be assessed, and then sort of move over. That was the overall goal. Let's just go back over to landscaping and put in the sand bits there. That's fine, and looks like the workers have now opened that up, so we can go to doors here, over to the fence gate, and then the fence gate will go in. Obviously this is introducing a bit more of a weak spot, but, well, to be fair, the biggest one we saw was tunneling, as well as, yeah, we're just literally running out through 1, 2, 3, 4 doors and fences. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, let's just double check the reoffending rate. It's now gone up to 24%, so it's still hovering around that sort of 20 to 30% mark, but it's now under the halfway point, so under 25%, which is, let's say, all good. We do have a lot of programs, and all people have mentioned about that, taking about the programs, and how maybe if we were to reduce some of the programs and focus on more others, it might work out. I do agree. We probably could perhaps like sort of take some of this off. That will also save us money. Not that that's a big issue, but yeah, there's a bit of a sideline. I guess I could sort of remove some of these and double up. Like we've got flower therapy running it twice, but there's only how many spaces? It is a total of 20 places, but only 3 people are on one, or 2 on one and 3 on the other. Yeah, we'll see about that anyway. Looks like we have the transport ferry in, and that's all good. Let's go over to planning and then walls, and I'm just going to basically make a square here, and I'm going to plan off the cells. I mean, we're probably going to have death row up the top, and then down this bottom bit we'll have the sort of protective custody area. Now, like the previous sort of design and the layout here, we're going to have probably 3 by 3 and go from there. I also want to make sure that we can get around the outside, so we need at least a gap of 1. I'm not going to put in, this is just going to be one big building, so this does have some security issues. In fact, just because of that, now I'm sort of talking myself out of this, I am going to have a walkway all the way around, so we can have, oh no, do we need that? I can have probably an external one. The problem is protective custody, and will they try to escape? Potentially. Am I going to really focus and worry about that? I don't think so. Anyway, over to the top, and I'm going to have, say, how many cells? What's that? 32. I think we can have probably some cells for, this is going to be death row cells, and we can have, like I said, was it 6 I mentioned? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could probably do that. Let me go with maybe a little bit smaller, so it's a 3 by, doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's fine. 3 and 3, that's not 3, 3, 3, and 3, and then it's still going to be odd on that side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then what I'll need is a parole and an execution room, which is probably going to be on the right here. So let's just have them as 3 by 6. A bit of a weird size, but it's not too much of an issue. And this will have obviously everything they need. We will have a sort of a little walkway there. I'm probably going to make it 3 just because that seems to be the theme of it. And then this can be the execution room, and if I was to maybe put in on this side anyway, another little side room. I'm just going to double check this one. It is a parole, and it is a 5 by 5. This is a 5 by 6, so I can maybe shrink that down a little bit, and there we go. So that is our room for the death row, and how they get here, how they get in, should I say, is probably just going to be something like that. As a rule, they don't tend to be strangely, they don't tend to fight or kick off or anything like that. At least the ones that we tend to get in don't. Anyway, so that is now in, and then we need some more cells for our protective custody. Now, I could probably place them on the edge, but my thoughts are, let's just have a quick check. 32, so if I just put a 1 in the middle there, that should be 16 and 15. Yeah, we're not going to get one right totally in the middle, are we? Okay. I'm going to have it so that we have a walkway of 3 all the way around, and I'm going to have like a block here where we have the cells on this one side, and then there'll be another area that's just going to be pretty much open, inspired by a couple of the ones that we've escaped from. So, like, you've got the cells internally, so we've got the walkway around here, so a bit of security, added security features there, and then like an open area for things like the common room, and also, what else do we need? Actually, common room and canteen is pretty much all we need. I could do an on-site kitchen, because getting it across here is probably going to be a bit of a problem. Do I want to do that? I'm not entirely convinced. Let me just double check on the cell sizings here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that works out absolutely perfectly for what we mentioned, which is to have it's going to be 12, wasn't it, that I said I was going to have in for protective custody. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then over like that, and then maybe something like that, and we can have the doors in like so, and just remove the other bits there like that, and there we go. And then this is, like I say, pretty much open. We don't need to be surrounded, I don't think. Canteen, it says it needs to have a serving table, tables, and then a bench. Doesn't need to be surrounded, and I know that the common room doesn't need to be either. Okay, I mean, that's what we have planned. Right, I mean, shall we get on with the actual building of it? Yeah, I think so. So foundations more, and the question is, do I want to go away from this sort of wooden area and make it a bit more thematic? I mean, we could do wall overgrown and have this like as a, I don't know, just a bit different, or wall death row. Ooh, okay. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. And there's also wall yellow. What I'm going to do is have the whole thing as wall death row, and these cells, when I build these, I'll have them as yellow, so they're still going to have the same colours. It's just going to be a bit different from this. It's just going to provide a little bit of contrast. So, yeah, we'll see how we get on with that one. I do want to have a sort of security room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. 5 by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I'll have 5 by 5 there, and then on the internal bit, it's going to be doors, and I'll go with solitary door, maybe there, and I'll remove that one. That's just a weak spot. All right, so while we are awaiting, we'll have a quick look at the main cell block here and see what's going on. Oh, a tunnel. There we go. That's actually just been found automatically. We'll just remove the tunnel there. Double checking for our reform. It's 24% still. Okay. Release prisoners. Go right at the bottom. And lots of reform. Lots of reform. So I mentioned about the long name in here. I'll see if I can find it. Murphy, Hare, Kennedy, no. It was in here, no, because it was quite long. There we go. Davidson, PhD, MD, Esquire, POT, US, reformed. Good, excellent. Okay, danger level is low and decreasing. Prisoners in the well treated. That's all good. I'm not seeing any workers yet cracking on with the building. Oh, right, okay, to construct, lots of it. Going to go to workers and hire some more workers. It appears that basically the last couple of episodes for building-wise, I've just been hiring and firing a lot of workers, which is suboptimal to say the least. Anyway, the ferry is still going back and forward, so the worker's going to be unloading stuff, transporting it over there, and then going from there. It is set correctly, I think. You've got ferry, which goes from one island to an island. It's in a sort of internal thing, and then you've got the What else do you have? Is it a jetty? No. Ferry dock, life ring. We should probably put some life rings in actually, but the last thing I want to do is get more stuff. Lots of concrete in there. I'm wondering if the deliveries is oversaturated. That's why we can't. That's why we can't see any building happening. It is a possibility. How curious. Okay. It's not working. I'm going to put in a temporary permanent deliveries over here. And let's see what happens there. Yeah, there we go. Can you see the stream of stuff coming from the helicopter there and then over to here? So I think that's what's happened. The AIs basically went, yes, you need to unload the helicopters. But we can't. Right. But you need to unload the helicopters. But we can't. I understand that, yes. But you need to unload the helicopters before you can build. Yeah, it's fine. I understand it, but I need to... You get the idea. Anyway, is that the same... Is that the same person tunneling over there? They can't, honestly, they can't walk away from a tunnel. They must absolutely love tunneling. I can't get enough of it. I might do a full shakedown, but I'm just a bit concerned that we have still concrete on that one, and I think it's stuck. I'm going to dismiss that and get it sending away. Yeah, okay. And then we've got more stuff turned up. Sheet metal. There's going to be a lot of exports on that one. Yeah, you can see all this delivery here. Yeah, lots of stuff is in. And we've got ingredients, we've got concrete, we've got steels, we've got Eggingtons, and we've got still no construction. Okay, I'm going to have to do something a bit different now then. So it might just be that the workers are not getting on it. So let's try something. Let's go with Stepping Stone's pallet. And I'm just going to do this and place the pallets like so. Now we'll have to actually buy the pallets and bring them in, and then obviously we'll dismiss that. I just think that's probably what's going on there. There's a reformed prisoner. Is that Larry? It is Larry, yes. Okay. Let's just see how we get on there. Yeah, there you go. And they're now cracking on with the building. Looks like it's just the sort of ferry dock thing that they're struggling with. Oh, actually, wait. So these pallets they're not technically built yet. They're all ghosted, but yeah, it's what's fixed it. Yeah. Prison Architect. The quirky kind of game. All right. Fine. How are the trees doing? I mean, we can't talk to them, so we won't truly know, but everything seems to be getting harvested and working out pretty well. Fine. We've got bakery production skills as a grant, but we haven't done that yet. I don't think we've actually sold anything. Yeah, sell 25 baked goods to customers. We've not actually done any of it. We have achieved 51 reformed prisoners, so that'll give us a bit of cash money once we finish that off, some generic units of currency. Consider adding death row to the prison. Yes, I have considered it, and I've started to implement said feature. I'm just going to double check intake here, and we do have death row unavailable. I mean, we can activate that if we want to, but it's not going to do anything because we don't have any available. Legendary prisoner 1. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not gonna go down that route. We can see we still need to install the stepping stones, even though they're ghosted and they're actually working on that one. But obviously there's lots of stuff to sort out there. Let me just get rid of that helicopter because it's been sitting there for quite some time. And we got Richard Gilmore, who is released, and not too sure what that helicopter... No, I was going to say what's it waiting for, but it is now headed out. There's a lot more prisoner uniforms. The helicopters can be very temperamental at times, so we often have to manually dismiss them. Money-wise, don't think there's anything to really speak of. We got £6 daily cash flow, 43 in the bank, and that's after placing all of this as well. So yeah, overall positive. In terms of the power exports, we're currently on 2,500, so half of the maximum power export capacity for 1 meter. You can put multiples in, I'm aware. But yeah, alright, so it's just taking time, really, this thing. It's taking a lot of time. Obviously, the workers are having to travel quite a way. They have to go over the stepping stones and then through the door. Luckily, they can go through themselves. They do have keys for that. It is a fence. It's a staff fence. After all, you don't need any jail door keys. You can turn that on. Is it in... where is it? Policy? Yeah, I think it's in policy. Allow staff keys, yeah. If enabled, all hired staff members will carry keys. Whilst this option is selected, improve the efficiency within the prison. Also reduces additional security risk with more keys being in circulation. Yes. And we found that to escape, all you need is a set of keys and walk through here. In fact, you don't even need a set of keys because these are just fences, so you can often just break them down. Yeah. So anyway, as I said, we've got this area here, which is going to be security. We're going to have an area for feeding the inmates, so we'll have a canteen around here, then maybe a common room here. There won't be visitation, there won't be anything like that, so they'll actually have less... we'll have less amenities over here? Probably not, because we'll use things like the... well, we'll obviously have things like all the table football and arcades and all the usual stuff that you get, but over this area we'll have... I think we'll have probably the calling booths. Yeah, we'll have the visitor calling booths. That'll provide the family need. The problem with this is that it's almost certainly going to negatively affect the reform because... oh, it's gone up again. Amazing. Yeah, we won't be running the programs, or they won't have access to it, really. That's the overall feeling, I guess. That so any inmate over here, which to be fair, they're probably not going to be a lot. I mean, if we go to informants, we've got... let's have a quick check actually in security. If we go to vulnerable, we've only got Lee. There's only one prisoner out of the entire population that is in the vulnerable category. Yeah, we got extremely tough, green thumb, got some confidential informants there, foodies, tough, fighter, stoical, fearless, dealer, all the, you know, ones that we often see, but it's only this one inmate here, Lee, who is currently being escorted to where? Probably their cell. Because they're volatile, I'm guessing they will have some, yeah, recent misconduct, attack prisoner, attack staff, serious injury, murder, found weapons, luxuries. Alright. Danger levels increasing. Now it's decreasing. Needs are good. Let me guess. Helicopters are broke again. Yeah. Okay. Bring them in there. Is that a sack of potatoes? No, unsorted mail. Fair enough. About as nutritious as the aforementioned anyway. Alright, well I can probably get rid of this deliveries bit now. We don't need that in here, so that was, let's say, a... well, it was temporary. I said temporary permanent, but it was indeed temporary. Who knew? Alright. Well, I mean, well, how much we got there? We got 8,568 for exports. That's most impressive, actually. Yeah, I often mention about the workshop and how we could probably... oh, right. Tim Winner is currently using a screwdriver in an unsavoury manner. Let's call some guards in. Yeah, I often said about having oh no. Now if Ed Wagstaff was fighting, there was a shank there. We can see they're being healed. So, I did accuse them of misconduct. What does the game say? Destruction, attack, prisoner, attack staff, serious injury. And Wagstaff. Escape attempt. Prisoner, attack prisoner, found weapons and found tools. That was the shank. Okay. Hang on. Apparently there's a tunnel there. Would that be legitimate? I don't think it will be. I'll do a tunnel search. Out of interest. See what we can see. Don't think it's legitimate. Chances are we won't find anywhere with tunnel search, but no. Okay, no. It's finished off. But it's curious, there's no contraband found either. Let's double check that actually. The last 7 days. Last 7 days has been okay. Checkpoints are working well. Bit concerned that there's a rolling pin, booze, and there's a couple of things there. I think that's drugs behind it, and then you've got the wooden pickaxe. But we're finding metal stuff with the metal detector here. Checkpoint's working well. And anything smelly, the doggos are finding as well. Look, that's ridiculous. I don't even know how many things we've got over there. It's quite a few. Okay. I think the visitor helicopter's broken again, so we'll just release that. Send that away. Looks like we got concrete coming in as well, so we're still having stuff for deliveries over here. Yeah. Big bit of building. But I think we're going to leave it there for now. We've spent enough time... Oh, pause it a second. And... Lee. Well, recent misconduct none, even though they are volatile. But snitching ex-law enforcement. So, who has done that? Attack prisoner, serious injury. Found drugs. James Slater, attack prisoner, serious injury, murder. So, we have reformed some prisoners, but sadly, Lee is no longer with us. They have, yeah, we've sort of failed them in the sense that we haven't built this quick enough. But that is the reason, if we need a sobering reminder of the reasons why we're building this, it's protective custody and death row. Either way, that's been a bit of Prison Architect. Hope you have enjoyed it. And next time, we will, I think at minimum, get the cells built. So finish off the foundation, put the cells in. We'll obviously have to then plan off the canteen and all of the other stuff like the... Do we have parole over here? I might actually have a separate parole for protective custody. That'll be interesting. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Just reminded myself of that one. We could easily put it in here. It's not a problem. We've got huge amounts of space. We've allowed ourselves that bit of freedom there. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now. Next time, we'll crack on with building and see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.